Okay, welcome back to my coding tutorial. Let me just get the text ed open. So last time I showed you this structure. Now we're gonna put it to use. So let's do an exercise. That was the first exercise I learned in my HTML web production class. So start off with HTML. Just gonna put my name, and we're gonna do a Lost Lab poster. Well, any dog really does, but I like labs, so that's the one I chose when I first did the exercise. Okay, so got our head open. Now we're gonna open up title, and I'll show you what title does once we get to the page. But we're gonna put Lost Lab poster, and then we're gonna close title. Then we're gonna close head, and then we're gonna open body, and we're going to do center. Now what center does is anything that's in between open center and close center, it'll be in the center of the screen. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go to Firefox real quick and go to Google Images. And we are going to get a picture of a Labrador. I didn't spell that right, but whatever. For the sake of doing these little exercises, taking text from Wikipedia and pasting it in, or taking pictures off Google Images, that's all fine and dandy. But if you're actually creating a website for someone or actually using it for your own purposes, I wouldn't recommend really using pictures and text that are from another person, just so you don't get shoved with a copyright lawsuit or anything like that. Let's see, if you were to use Google Images, I can recommend that you do something like this. You do an advanced search. You go down to usage rights, and you got free to use or share. You can do this as an advanced search, and there you go. There's a bunch of cool images you can still use. It's just a little slimmed down. So I'll just get this guy, I guess. So we'll view the image, and then we will save the image as we're gonna put it on the desktop because that makes life easier. So just get rid of that for now. Oh, there it is, right over here. So we want an image of the dog, right? So people know what they're looking for. So we do img space src, which stands for image source. Then you're going to do equal sign with quotation marks, and you're going to do actually, let me show you an easier way to do this. You see this link? We're going to actually view image info, and we're going to take this location, copy that, and paste. And then there's a few attributes to each tag, and specifically to the image tag, we can do some attributes called height, I usually like to do 400, and then width equals 400, and then that way your picture is so many pixels of the screen. So we have 400 pixels height and 400 pixels width. What I was originally going to show you was if you download a picture and you put into directory, you'll see the picture, but doing it this way by just copying the image info, it's a little easier. It's already on the web. It's just linking to that picture so it shows up on your page. So we're gonna close the deuce and keep going. We're gonna do a P, which stands for paragraph, and like any paragraph in your standard Word document or whatever, it'll skip 2 spaces. There's also BR, which stands for break. That's just 1 space. So if you're writing text, you want to break after each line that you want, so that way it's not all jumbled together. But to get some extra space, we want to do a P. You don't have to close the P. You don't have to close P or image. So that's something that's nice. Now let me introduce to you headings 1 through 6. H1 is your largest font, pretty much. So we'll say Lost Labrador, and then you want to close H1, do a BR. And these tags you can pretty much put anywhere. You don't have to do all these separate lines. You could put the BR here, or you could put the P like right here, or you could just do like this. But for the sake of easiness to read, we're just gonna keep it all line after line pretty much. So H2, that's your next largest. Well, now we're downgrading, or decreasing the size of our font as we go from H1 to H6 pretty much. Let's see, what should we say? Last seen on Jefferson Avenue. If you find my dog, please contact the following number. Almost forgot the, let's do H3 now. Close H3. Here, I'll just make that bigger. BR. H4. And then we'll do 555, 555, 5555. And that's good enough for now, I guess. If it was a real poster, I'm sure there'd be more details and such, but we'll just keep it simple. So now we're gonna close center, because we opened center before. We're gonna close body and close HTML. Now you kind of see a pattern forming that what you open most recently gets closed most recently, and like HTML, which we opened first, it's last. So just kind of like an outward kind of technique to how you open and close the coding. So I did this in TextEdit, which is the Mac standard, just because it has all these font features and I can make it 36 font so that everyone can see what I'm doing. But let's go. I downloaded a app called Notepad, which is just your typical notepad that you'd find on a PC. So we're gonna paste this in here, and you see the text is a lot smaller. So now we're gonna save it. Let's just put it on the desktop and call it sample 1. It's pretty long, but let's just save it. And now, if you were on a PC, what you would do is, unfortunately, I can't do a save as on this, but let's see if actually, let's rename. But you know, when you save as on Notepad, it will let you rename the text, and it always saves as a .txt file, which stands for text. And what you want to do is you want to save it as a .html, which will create a new file for what you have in the text. So I'm not going to do that, but instead I'm going, since I'm on the Mac, it actually doesn't work that way when I do it on Mac. So this is what I have to do. I have to go to Get Info and then change it to .html, and then we're going to say use HTML. So if you're on a PC, all you have to do is save as again, and right where after the 1 you do a .html, it'll create a new file like this one right here. So we're going to click on this, and there we go. I'm not sure why the BR is so big right here, the space in between, but that's the gist of what I want to teach. So in the next video, we'll use more attributes to spice up what we see here on this page. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial.